Okay, so today we have Morrissey and America is Not the World. So this title caught me. Uh, I just saw the title and I thought I have to do this one because if it's anything like I might think it's going to be, I think I might like it. So yeah, this is another one from You Are the Quarry or Quarry. I can't remember how to say that. But again, I've always thought that this album was pretty freaking good, and from the other songs I've heard from it. So here's another one. So let's get into it and see what Morrissey has to say about America here.
America, your head's too big, because America, your belly's too big, and I love you, I just wish you'd stay where you in America, the land of the free, they said, and of opportunity, in a just and a truthful way. But where the president is never black, female or gay, and until that day, you've got nothing to say to me to help me believe. In America, it brought you the hamburger. Oh well, America, you know where you can shove your hamburger. And don't you wonder why in Estonia they say, hey you big fat pig, you fat pig, you fat pig. Steely blue eyes with no love in them scan the world, and a humorless smile with no warmth within greets the world. And I have got nothing to offer you. No, just this heart deep and true, which you say you don't need. See with your eyes, touch with your hands, please. Hear through your ears, know in your soul, please. For haven't you me with you now? And I love you, I love you, I love you, and I love you, I love you, I love you.
All right, America is Not the World by Morrissey. I think you could tell I really enjoyed this song. Made me laugh a couple times. Uh, um, yeah, I was still just thinking of the fat pig line. Um, he just doesn't. He's just so brutally honest, and I just love it. So yeah. Um, So what the first, I gotta, what do I say? Um, so obviously, America, I mean, the title is spot on. I see, looking at the comments here from the video, a lot of people who even live in America are, saying like, I mean, especially when this song came out in 2004, talking about, he talks about George Bush, kind of alludes to him in a particular line here. And, obviously George Bush, I mean, he's gone down as probably one of the worst presidents, I guess. And I mean, I live in Canada, so I mean, I guess Canada. It's still the Americas, but I mean, America, I guess, has just become what people think is just the United States, which I feel like Morrissey is just basically really targeting the United States here. Obviously, again, with how he talks about no female president, no black president or gay. But obviously, Barack Obama would come along 4 years later, but still no female or gay presidents. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, it's just I love how it starts off right off the bat. America, your head's too big because America, your belly is too big. I mean, a lot throughout the song here, he talks about how fat America is, basically. Basically, I feel like I said that word weird. And I mean, and then he goes on, and I love you, and I mean, and then how he finishes the song with and I love you again. I just wish you'd stay where you belong. And and then he goes on again, just talking about your head's too big, you think you're all that, basically, and a bag of chips. And it's just like, yeah, and your belly's too big. And it's just so good. And I'm on Genius here, genius.com, and for the first verse here, there is an annotation. I mean, there is a couple annotations. I feel like in a lot of Morrissey songs, the Genius page is always kind of annotated. But anyway, it says, Morrissey expresses here his best wishes for an America that he doesn't recognize because of all the bad media that has been coming out from the country in the last years. And again, 2004, I mean, you had 9/11 in 2001, George Bush, that whole thing. I mean, that whole debacle. Times were pretty bad for America then, obviously. And I mean, even I mean, this song could have been made again in 2016 to 2020, obviously with Donald and power there. But yeah, and I mean, it's just again, it's always this kind of thing, as somebody again who's Canadian, looking on the outside, kind of like a Brit would. It's just like, yeah, it's just there's that sense of, I don't know what that sense for some, at least what America portrays to be, that sense of kind of, we're better or something like that. And I mean, yeah, it's just, I don't know, the whole, and then how Morrissey goes on here in the second verse, in America, the land of the free, they said, and of opportunity in a just and truthful way. And I mean, again, the whole land of the free, the American dream, it's just like, it's all kind of a, I mean, I think there's a George Carlin bit on that, which is pretty good about, the American dream. And it's just, it's just like, it's not really the American dream, especially, that I guess was promised. Anyway, and then we go on. And then I like, when he says here, but where the president is never female, black, or gay. And yeah, again, like I said, Barack Obama came along, but again, I mean, even still, I mean, I feel like in America or in the United States, whatever, I mean, they legalized gay marriage in 2015. I know in Canada it was legalized in 2005. But still, I mean, there's so many, I mean, you could see it on TV. I mean, there's so many, Christians. I feel like, you just think of like Joel Olstein or whatever, Pat Robinson, I think. Just so many of the biggest names, and they're all against, abortion, against, they're all homophobic and all this stuff. And it's just like, I feel like it's a lot more intense there. The right, there's a lot more kind of conservative, because I mean, if you think about where I live in Canada, conservative party is not really like the Republicans, because Republicans are conservative. I mean, Canada is kind of like conservative light. I mean, there'd never be someone like a Donald Trump, as Prime Minister of Canada. And I mean, yeah, it's like even the conservatives here, I mean, they are for, I mean, a lot of them, at least, they're kind of for, I was gonna say abortion, but I guess not. Some of them are not. But yeah, they're not as intense as right wingers in the United States, which again, and they're not always for a female or gay or black president, which is kind of crazy in 2021. I mean, even I think Canada's had one female prime minister for like a couple months in like the 90s, and that was about it. But again, even, I mean, if you've seen videos, I mean, about being gay in some parts of America, I forget. There's a video about the worst city in America. I want to say it's in Arkansas or something. But yeah, it's just it. I mean, there's so many videos out there. It's just boggles your mind. Uh, that happens to take place in America, obviously. Anyway, moving on. In the last verse here, the longest verse. So it says, "In America, it brought you the hamburger. Oh well, America, you know where you can shove your hamburger." And I mean, this is where I just started laughing again. And obviously, Morrissey's a vegan. I mean, I'm a vegetarian as well. So again, he's just talking about, there's an annotation here for the line. It says, "It is well known that Morrissey is a vegan." Obviously, with the whole meat is murder goes on. It talks about here, Morrissey gets funny and sarcastic by addressing one of the biggest creations of America, the hamburger. He presents his discomfort and annoyance about this particular topic. And again, that's another, I think of another George Carlin bit about, I mean, just how fat America has gotten. And, just there's, I think, a special from 2008, I want to say, or maybe it was 2005, one of those ones. But again, just, how fat people are and all this stuff. And I mean, Morrissey, again, he's kind of, that's what I feel like he's really poking the bear here about, food consumption in America. And I just, I'm laughing the whole time. And then it goes on here, "Steely blue eyes with no love in them scan the world." And apparently it says here for an annotation that this was alluding to George Bush. He had expressed on many occasions his distaste for Bush during his presidency, particularly in interviews. I mean, a lot of people, didn't like Bush, obviously. And I mean, you hear the man talk in an interview and stuff. I mean, he, like, again, there's so many George Bushisms, and it's just like, is that a word? And it's just, I don't know. George Bush said it. I don't know. Anyway, and then we have the ending here with the whole, "And I've got nothing to offer you. No, no, no. Just this heart deep and true, which you say you don't need. See with your eyes, touch with your hands, please. Hear with your ears, know in your soul, please. For haven't you me with you now? And I love you, I love you, I love you, and I love you, I love you, I love you." Just a great ending to a freaking perfect song, I thought. And apparently it says this part here is kind of a passage which makes reference to Christian imagery. And again, just talking about Christian imagery, I feel like, again, Christianity is kind of the particularly big in the States, and more than in Canada, I know. More than in Britain. I mean, if you just look at the numbers of which country believes in God or whatever, what the percentages are, the United States, I think, is near the top, I want to say, from what I saw last time. More than other countries, at least, more than Canada and, the UK and all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, it's just Morrissey bringing up a lot of topics here about America, which I really love. And I mean, if you're an American viewer here, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or something, not trying to be mean or whatever. It's just, bringing up topics that I think are funny as well, and that I can kind of agree with here. So yeah, this was a great song. Again, I love this album a lot. I think of another song I love so much, which I think is "I Have Forgiven Jesus." Just a few great hits on this one from 2004, which again, Morrissey was in top form here again. Anyway, the sarcasm was freaking on top here again. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that's it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. I really appreciate all the support. And